lovelies, how are we?
Good.
Right, good. Okay, so I'm Helen, it's Monday morning, we are iCare, iMove. Look at me, I'm like, I'm not sure what all that was I did then. I don't know about you, but joints, how they doing? Are they aching? Do we all need the desire to be a bit more buttery? How are we feeling? Because I think, and a conversation travelling over here today was about some of us like getting up in the dark and others don't. I'm not a fan. So I'd like to bring some sunshine into this session. Let's start with some standing mobilization and opening. So stand in neutral for me, please. And to remind ourselves what that feels like, because we really feel our bodies, and that's kind of one of the intentions from Joseph Pilates, was really tuning into what your body needs and being fully aware of the needs of the anatomy, which bones need aligning, which muscles need stretching. Okay, so feet in line with knees, knees in line with hips. Pelvic floor, we're starting to consider it. We're engaging with the pelvic floor. The gentle lift, not to the point where your eyebrows are high, but just a nice little lift, which helps us to draw the belly in towards the backbone. Thinking about our breathing, shoulders back and down, arms open. So this openness is what we need to start with, and that's that kind of open growth mindset. I can do anything, and that's how we all feel today. Take a breath in, take your arms up nice and high towards the ceiling, relax your shoulders down, open out, and then at 3 or 9 o'clock, palms down, and then just sweep it back for a second. Take a breath in, feel the chest fill, take the arms back down, all the way, lovely, and squeeze behind you. When the arms come up nice and high, we try not to lose our form, maintain neutral, tuck your belly in, pull your belly in, tuck your pelvis under, and then don't forget that squeeze of the shoulder blades as we take the arms back. Breath in, all the way to the top. Exhale, squeeze, bend the knees, bring the arms through, just swing them gently and back. Up and down, lovely, up. Now we're shifting weight from heel to toe. Let's see if we can actually get some balance in here. So come up onto the balls of the feet and the backs of the heels. So 1, and 2, 1 and 2. Take your time with this. If you just want to feel some control through the foot, fine. So you don't have to come onto heels or ball of foot, but think about the flow of weight and the transfer of weight from front to back. Lovely. So we've gone out, we've gone up, lovely. So from here, take your right hand, palm backwards, through the body, and then push away, heel of hand. Got it? So all the way around and push away, because we're looking at the wrist extension here and the joint action at the elbow. Around, push away, around, push away. So this is starting to work on the rotation of the body as well. Last time, well done, and release. Other side, so the hand comes up and over. Again, you might feel a couple of niggles in the shoulders here. Back of the hand, lovely, well done. And that hopefully will start to make you feel a bit more mobile in the spine. And also so much of this, when we start with the warm-ups, this is about prep. That's mental prep as well as physical prep. Roll your shoulders. Okay, let's take your right foot in front of your left. So there's a heel-toe stance here. So you are literally on a tightrope. Okay, and then from there, we're thinking about the same weight between back leg, front leg. So when we're in this position, we're not sat back into the hip, we're in the center. So the feet is equal and balanced. From here, we slide the hands down the side seams of the leggings to the right and to the left. But taking our time and bracing through our center. You'll notice when you do this, your feet and ankles, the outside of the calf muscles, they're working really hard to keep you steady here. And we expect that. Let's switch feet. And sometimes you'll notice or really feel the difference between one side and the other. Your setup is important. Your feet are equal and balanced. The weight is not in the back leg. The weight is equal on both feet. Then we start to look at that lateral lean. And again, being aware that your feet are working really hard to do this. And again, there's a conversation going on. Fear bubble. The brain is going, I feel unsafe, do something. And the muscles are working to contract to keep you steady. So we're also getting into areas of the body that maybe we don't consciously think about stretching and activating. Well done. Feet slightly wider than hip width. Again, we're just going to bend the knees, and again, we're just going to float the arms. So this time, I'm looking for a bit more depth. So bend the knees and rise. And I'm okay here if you want to just open up through the chest. Little monkey squat and a rise. I just lost my microphone. Lovely. Okay. With each repetition, a little lower, a little higher, maybe a little slower too. Maybe fingertips starting to brush the ground or knuckles brush the ground. This is called a monkey swing. And it's a whole body movement. Everything is starting to have a conversation as you mobilize. Take a big breath into the top. Let it go. Breath into the top. And then release your hands to your sides. Classically, conventionally, we're going to roll down the spine. So I want you just for a moment to take time with this. So roll just a handful of vertebra, but not without contracting through your center. So do not roll unless we're pulled in and activated, okay? So think, now I'm going to go square onto the camera. Just bear with me for a second. What I look for as a trainer is imbalances in the spine. So when you roll down, I'm looking for the same height in the shoulders. I'm looking for the same height in the whole of the back, pulling in the belly. And I'm trying to see if we're equal and balanced. What's going on with the arms? And I can see that as your trainer when we perform that movement. So really take your time here. Use your abdominals. Now, spine safe and back safe work is always a conversation in the Pilates world, especially when we're dealing with the postmenopausal female. We've got to think about her bone health, things like osteopenia, which is the precursor to osteoporosis. You are strong women, you are doing own body weight exercise. I want you, and you should have great bone health through the Pilates, let alone anything else. Okay, you're going to do this one more time, and then we're going to look to lower towards the ground. Okay, so have your roller nearby. What I'm looking for is a curtsy. Now, with the curtsy, the leg goes beyond the midline and lowers down. You should know this, right? Okay, so do a handful. And each time you repeat this, we're going to bring the back knee closer to the ground. Alternate so we're not fatiguing. And if you feel comfortable bringing that knee down towards the ground, that's fine. I'm just having a look. We've got no hip replacements in this space today. Okay, so you're crossing the body, you're bringing the knee down to the ground. It's not the getting on the floor that we have a worry about because gravity helps that one. It is having the confidence to rise out of the position. Now just do a little mental check as you perform this exercise. How does your ankle feel? How does your knee feel? Can you feel energy up the side seam of your thigh into your hip. How does your shoulder feel as you press down on the roller? So just make this conscious narrative with your body, and yeah, I've got that, I feel that in my toes, my knee, my hip, my thighs. At which point does it transfer from one leg to the other? And all of this is consciously activating your power muscles to rise from the ground. One or two more, and I say that because unconsciously we perform movements all the time. It's when we start putting focus to an unconscious movement do we really start to see some great results. Well done. And then from there, please, we are coming down onto the floor into a firstly child's pose. And the reason why child's pose is so important here is not the nature of the stretch right now, but the flexion of the knee. So at the moment when you sit back, your bum on your heels, this is a very reduced angle at the knee joint. Just breathe, allow that to happen. And then when you're ready, I want you to take your roller to the top third of your yoga mat and bring yourself into a box position. Now, the shape of this is changing. I'm not sure which camera I'm on. Okay, so once our hands are on the roller, our shoulders are higher than our tails. Would you agree? Yeah? Okay, what we're going to do is just to slowly bend the elbows and lower the face beyond the roller and push up. 1. Breathe in to lower, breathe out to push up. 2. Last time, breathe in to lower, catch, breathe out, push back. Lovely. Okay, and just sit back for a moment. We're going to repeat that again, this time 5, okay? It is strung into the wrist. I expect a lot of power here. Breathing in as you lower, breathing out as you push away. Now, if this is too much, take the roller out of action. If that is too much, reduce the range of movement or the lowering of the face. Do what works within your realm and your power. You should have 2 more to go, am I right? Okay, and when we've completed the final one, we sit back in child's pose. Keeping your hands on the roller, separate your knees, keep your toes together. Okay, and then from here, just from a stretch point of view, drop your left armpit towards the ground, and then your right, and then your left. And continue to do that, because again, the lats, big old muscles in your back. So the lats, when they fire off, and they're such a big muscle group, they're connected to so many of our movements. So at the moment we're stretching off, and this is allowing stretching off through the spine too. Well done. Lovely. Okay, so what if we took the roller, we knelt on it, so I'll go the other way around. We knelt on it, so my ankle is flexed, so I'm slightly supported, my foot's on the floor. My other foot is not. Okay, let me just change cameras. Change positions. Okay, so I'm in 4-point kneeling. I've lifted leg off floor. I don't know if you can see here, but what I'm looking for is a push off the floating knee and a lower down as far as I can. So it's a push off, maintaining alignment. And what you're going to get here is some movement around the sacroiliac joint. Your core is activating. Are we okay with knees? Okay, with wrists, well done, and switch sides. Before you do, just roll off your wrists so we're not overpowering here. Story of my life being overpowering. Well done. Okay, so we think about lining up your shin on your roller, flexing your foot so the leg that's on the roller, the toes are down on the ground. And once again, we lower and lift. So this is a lot of movement that's triggering into the sacroiliac joint, so the bit where the spine locks into, but also the QL, quadratus lumborum. These are muscles that sit out of your pelvis and connect up into the bottom of your ribs. So they can get really tight. They give us a bit of aggro as well. So we're just gonna, that's what this is about, just trying to release the back. Because next what we're going to do is come flip over and lie down on our spines on the roller. And we're just gonna roll out the back. Then we're going to come into single leg circle, because all of that is about releasing the ribs, releasing the hip, releasing the muscles in the low back, okay? So when you're ready, swiftly sit, swiftly lie, feet nice and wide, so you've got control over your balance. And then give yourself a second, because again, this is, guys, you know that I have asthma. And I've come out of a chest infection. The coughing is still very much there, and I'm prone to knocking my own ribs out. So let's put that into context of somebody who's gone through COVID. Or if you are coughing, you can just kind of affect your rib cage. So here, first move, arms out 3 and 9 o'clock. Just settle your elbows onto the ground if you can. So what that's doing is just opening up through the chest and the collarbone. Secondary, it's starting to stretch out through the front of the pec and deltoid, so chest muscles, and then into the front of the shoulder. I want you to engage, gently pinch with your shoulder blades the roller. So you can just have that connection there. And then again, by pinching the roller with your shoulder blades, you're telling your brain where you are. So from a proprioception point of view, that's our spatial awareness. You're pinching the roller, the brain's going, okay, I know where you are. Okay. So from here, I want you to take your arms up towards the sky, and then across onto your opposite shoulders, feet nice and wide, and just gently move side to side of your spine 1 inch or 2. Hugging your shoulders, so really cushion your shoulders, bear hugging yourself, and enjoy how that feels between your shoulder blades. So a little bit of trickery here to move side to side. And then that, that's nice, isn't it? So the more you hug, the deeper you can get into your shoulders, the more compression at your belly button, so the more you're pressing your spine into the roller, the deeper you can get into those stabilizing spinal muscles that wrap around the spine. Oh, it's good, right? Okay, enough of the good stuff. Leave your arms out nice and wide, maybe sort of, I don't know, 4, 5 o'clock, 7, 8 o'clock. And when you're ready, you're going to bring up leg 1 into half tabletop. And then when you're ready, leg 2. Use that as a balance. Okay, now think about your belly button, pull down to your backbone. If you want to just use your fingertips for that support, you can. Okay. And then I want you to think, draw in your pelvic floor. If you want to close your eyes, this heightens the sensory output here. When you're ready, right leg extends right the way forward. Lovely. Draw it in. Exhale. Draw it in. Now still pulling your belly into your backbone. Taking the foot nice and long, stretched out towards skirted board height. Pulling your belly into your backbone throughout the movement. Well done. Lovely. Good job, guys. 2 more. Last time. Now, I don't know about you, but I feel like the tension's gone back into my shoulders. So now I'm going to send my arms overhead. Okay, again, this is going to be stronger. So this will be stronger than taking your arms out to 3 or 9 o'clock. Overhead, palms up. Again, what you're going to get here is another stretch through the pec. So the pectoral muscles, they're quite large on the front of your chest. So pec major and now pec minor. Your lats will flare. You might need to adjust yourself a little bit because it's not massively comfortable. But what you get in here is more of a release off your abdominal wall. Oh dear. Well done. And then release. Okay, good job, guys. Okay, so from here, what I'm looking for is one leg circle. Use your arms for your stability. Your right leg extends long, your left foot is on the floor, your left knee is bent. Right leg extends. Okay, let your heel touch the ground for a second. So what you should get is a stretch through your right hip and pelvis. Hold that. Now, the right leg is coming straight up the midline of the body, keeping everything else nice and still, nice and slow. Well done. Now it's going to go out, 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 down and around. But it's a half circle, so it goes up the midline, out to the side. Ooh. Can you feel how you're having to contract here? And everything is working very hard. Well done. Okay, last time. And then settle the foot. We're going to repeat this on the other side. So left leg stretches out straight. When you're ready, pop it on the floor. Maybe you're not as tight on one side in the hip as you were in the other. But again, this just helps us to get some balance in the rotators. When you're ready, the leg comes up through the center of the body and out to the side. I have to modify. So I'm going to take out the curtains. Take your time with the movement. Well done. And it's okay to breathe. Just remember that. Well done. Settle the foot down on the floor this time round. Well done, and give yourself a moment. Lovely. When you're ready, gracefully dismount. Well done. How are we feeling? So far so good. Right, good. Thumbs up. They're all going, okay, this is fine. We've got this. Right, okay, so for Annie, we're going to just roll out the quads because we know Annie likes this. Right, so how do we do that? We come as close, I'm going to go into this corner. Okay, right, so firstly, it's about putting your hips on the roller. If you're too higher up on your bladder, it's not particularly comfortable. Feet in a straight line for now. Send your elbows forward and pull yourself forward to your knees and then back again and go, ooh. So don't forget, the best thing you can do here is breathe. Use your elbows to stretch forward. The further your elbows are forward, the more you can travel and the more your core fires. Now our feet are in a straight line. The next thing we're going to do here is take the feet nice and wide, turn your toes out. Okay, now we roll again. Now for me this is the preferred option. So now we're getting into the nearer the thigh nearer the inner thigh and towards the groin. Use your breath. That's really important. Lovely. And then finally, we turn our toes in. You might need to adjust. Toes in, heels out, and the same thing again. We roll. Now, it might be that you just focus and shift your weight slightly to get into one side. In the old days, when we used to do this, we used to try and roll you up the side of your hips. We don't do that so much now because it is tender. It is a fascia, not a muscle, up the side of your thigh. And it can be a bit sore. But every day we use the thighs. Every day we carry ourselves. We need the thigh muscles to get us on and off chairs and beds and loos. So it's important. And sometimes if I had a busy day in the garden, we build up lactic acid in the thighs. This is us having a deep tissue massage. Well done. Release, relax. Are we good? I love the noises. Well done. Okay, let's just take the roller out of play for a second. We're coming onto our side now. This is how I'm feeling. I'm feeling nervous about doing stuff that involves my shoulders and moving, because I've been busy working through rehab to try and get function back into my shoulders. So what I've noticed, that I'm okay holding, but moving is another story. So what I'd like to, so if I'm feeling it is the point. I'm sure that many of you feel it too. So what I'm looking for is, just look at my shoulders for a minute. We hover onto our elbows. We turn onto the side, hover onto elbows, and turn onto the other side, okay? So at the moment it's knees down. And this is about familiarity. So throughout the movement, your shoulders are directly over your forearms. Your shoulders are directly over your elbows. And don't worry about how many shuffles your knees are taking to move from one side to the next. This is literally just about familiarization. So in terms of learning, in terms of training, sometimes we have to just perform the movement and repeat the movement, and then convince your brain that it's okay. You can't convince the brain that dogs want to do Pilates with you. It's just the way it is. Okay, and the reason, get your lines right here. So when you rotate to the side, your arm goes towards the ceiling. So this creates that real power line. So it's a really strong line from elbow to elbow, right? Okay. So this is about, so Elaine, let your knees move. Okay, so your knees are stacked on the side. Both knees are on the floor. One knee is on the floor, both knees are stacked, other side. That bit's important. So you're allowing your body to go with you, okay? We're not working, we're not twisting. So knees are stacked, knees are down, knees are stacked, knees are down. That's your side, front, side, front. Lovely. Lovely. And we're doing loads, right? It'll all make sense. Well done. And release. Okay. Roll onto your back, draw your knees into chest here. And just give yourself a moment. So just little circles as you hold on to your knees, just little circles. Okay. have the roller nearby. We're not quite going to use it yet, but have it nearby. I'm just going to pop it between my heels and my bum. Okay, and we're going to have a look at some bridges. Okay. So before we bridge, I just want both knees to drop to the right side and then to the left side. Okay. Mom, what you doing? What you doing? That's what I get all the time from my little one. What you doing? What you doing now? What about now? Except when I say she's little, she ain't little. I thought I was having a puppy. I thought I was having a Weimaraner. It turns out I've got a giant. Okay, right, do this for me. Put the soles of the feet together and let your knees drop out wide. The back of the roller will support your knee drop. So soles of the feet together, knees out nice and wide. Let's just quickly, nothing's quick in Pilates. I just want you to think about your pelvic floor for a second, okay? Think about fully contracting your pelvic floor and then letting it go. Okay, remember the pre-wee tingle? And I'm doing this at this point because I just need us to reactivate the pelvic floor as we come into bridge. I don't want us to rely on the muscle power. I want us to use the pelvic floor as we rise into a bridge. Okay, and what does that look like? Bring your feet flat on the floor, your knees are aligned. The first thing that happens is your back flattens off. Just stop there and then release it. So it's literally, we call this spinal imprinting. Arms are overhead. Your whole back should feel flat and touching your mat. You might not like that. And then release. So do that again. Imprint your spine and use your heels and the back of your thighs to really push your spine down into the floor. And release. You'll notice when you do that, so pushing out of your heels to flatten your spine, you might actually feel that in weird places, but you'll notice that your hamstrings and your buttocks are firing. Okay, release. Okay, let's go again, but this time we're going to go a little higher. So heels press, imprint the spine, lift your bottom to your waistband. Tuck your chin and release. Take a breath in and tilt the spine. Start to continue to print and lift. So we're coming up, feet are flat, arms are still overhead. Slowly release the vertebra down, one at a time. Imprint, tilt the buttocks, relax, breath in to tilt, exhale to drive slowly upwards, still flat feet, but keep pushing. Use the back of the heels and hamstrings to push as high as you can. And now slowly let it all down. Keep your arms overhead. Let your vertebra come down one at a time. We are not rushing this, right? Okay, let's go again. Push out of your heels to imprint the spine. Start to lift the tail, the pelvis, above your waistband, up to your ribs, beyond your ribs, onto your shoulder blades. Contract the glutes, tighter, push higher, feet still flat. Lay it all back down. Oh, by now your rib cage will be nice and firmly working. Okay. This time we stay at the top of the move. Stay there. Now use your heels to push yourself onto the back of your shoulders. Hold it there. Hold it there. Hold it there. Keep pushing and pressing and pushing. It's a static contraction here. You're pushing high. Slowly come down, but don't come all the way. Stop. Stop. Come down a little further. Stop. Just hold it there. Hold it there. Anyone feeling that? Yeah. So the bum is still off the deck. You're still pushing out your heels. Your hips, your glutes are firing. Now release your back all the way down. Oh, hello. Okay, and ditch roller. Turn on side. That was interesting, wasn't it? Yeah? I like that because the roller kind of measured out where you were. Okay, so your shins line up parallel to your yoga mat. The heels stay connected and we're going to open and close. Now there's quite a big space here, so I've not got 90 at my knees. I've probably, the space is 110. Okay, keeping the heels connected is quite a small open and close with flexed feet. So this is your clam. Lovely. That feels weird, right? Restricted and light. Hold it there. Okay, kick the leg forward. So we're keeping the hip externally rotated. The foot comes forward and now we circle. Lovely little circles. Whilst keeping your hips stacked, because what happens is you want to roll. We don't want you to roll. We just want you to keep stacked. Now I want you to really flex through the foot. Continue to stack the hips. So the foot is pointing up towards the ceiling. Lovely. Now if you want to, your top arm can come overhead, fingertips touch, we're still circling. It's quite funny, there's a switch direction. I can hear a bird in the distance and it sounds a bit like a squeaky wheel to me right now. And I'm like, that's my hips. So we're still circling and you might be dying quietly. You might be feeling this from the glute down your hamstring. Your foot is flexed, you're still circling. Your foot is flexed. You might be feeling this all the way to the back of the knee, maybe beyond. Ooh, okay, swing your leg down to the bottom of the yoga mat. Turn your toe downwards, your heel pumps. So the heel lifts and lifts and lifts and lifts. Keep going, up. Up, up. Hello. It's subtle at first. You're like, oh yeah, it's fine. And then you go, ooh, ouch. It's good, isn't it? If you want to, if your arm is too tired, you can rest your arm at your hip. Keep pulsing, toe down, heel up. Keep going, up, 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 up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Good job. Ooh, hello. Right, okay. Switch, like turn over 180 degrees or push yourself up and flip over. Oh man, that felt lush. Okay, so I'm starting with hips stacked, flexed, and then instead of 90 degrees where we like to hold ourselves here, we're going to go a little lower and the shins will be parallel. So we're just adjusting the positioning here. So as you open and close in clam, you'll feel really quite restricted. Now if you want to, that top arm can come up and over. Lovely. It's all right, isn't it? The funny thing is it's the underneath, isn't it? You're like, oh, that, I can feel that. Okay, up and hold. So that gives you your angle. Then we extend the knee joint and now we circle. Hello. Like, oh, hello hip. Well done. Ow, ow. So this is my bad hip. Like, oh my God, I could have just kept going with the other side. This side's like, no, I don't like it. But we got to keep going. It's good for us. Suddenly I had a flashback and I'm telling you a story. We're in our village hall and I'm telling you about my nana burning the camphor candle when we all had bad chests as kids. It's good for you. It's good for you. And this one day it was really not good. It was strong and we were all going, don't like it, don't like it. Switch direction. Turned out they put too much camphor in, set the bedroom on fire. It's good for you. I love that. Annie's not on mute, so I can hear her laughing. It's brilliant. Ooh, anyone feel that in the back? Strong in it. Okay, swing the leg down to the bottom of your yoga mat. Turn the toe down. The heel is the highest point and we press, press, press. So again, all of this is targeting and challenging around the hip joint, which is really important to us because all of these muscles that we're working are the muscles that sometimes are either forgotten or they're in overuse, causing back pain. Forgotten, they cause back pain. Overuse, they cause back pain. So we're just trying to get some power into the hip and rebalancing here. Toe down, heel up. We're nearly through. Again, if you want to move your arm from overhead, bring it over to your hip. What I'm trying to avoid is fingers down in front of you because there's a reliance there on that balance. So it's really forcing us to hold that position. 8, 7, 6. Come on, Elaine. And then release. Well done, team. I've taken you on quite the journey already. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, now from here we are coming onto our front. So just get into position first. Lie on your belly and relax. You know when I say relax, when we've still got... I know you actually don't believe me. Okay, so forehead on your forearms. Okay, feet wide. I'm going to shuffle up a bit. Feet to the outside edges of your yoga mat. Head down. Tuck chin towards chest. Now, I want your arms to go... I got a moving roller. Okay, I want your arms to go out into a high V. So we'll just go round the shape first. So you're in a star shape. Right arm lifts, keeping everything else aligned, and then lowers. Left leg lifts and lowers. Right leg lifts, lowers. Left arm. So we go right, right, left, 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 right, right. Does that make sense? So we're lifting and lowering, lifting and lowering. Different muscles are firing all the time. So what if we go top right, bottom left, top left, bottom right? Feel how that is connecting. So again, this is really targeting into the posterior chain. What does that mean to us? We're strengthening the back side of the body and the back fascia. Okay, keeping your alignment, chin towards your chest, but chest lifted. Butt and back, working very hard here. Keep going. Well done. And then release. Bring your hands to rib or chest height. Push up, push back. Just stretch out through your back. Okay. Now we come forward, lower down, arms out wide, arms to chest height, push up, push back again. And repeat. You know what's coming here, guys. Okay, arms out and in. Now this one is one of my wild moves that I love. And I see this as such a great application to coming off the floor as we age. It's really funny, I've just looked up and Pat's gone. Didn't even know she was in. Where is everyone? It's totally my own bubble teaching then. Keep going. So weirdly enough, remember what I said about automatic movements. We're not even thinking about this, right? Now for the next 6 to 8, I never said stop, Jane. The next 6 to 8, think about it. What are you using? How does it feel? How can you make it stronger? So consider what muscles, what joint actions are involved to press yourself off the ground. I think you'll find the answer is everything's working. There's weight here, you're pushing your chest away from the ground. So you're targeting the pectoral, you're targeting the shoulders, the biceps, the triceps are all working here. Then you're thinking about the elbow joint, you're pushing back through the spine. So the back side of the body is working as well. Strong, powerful movements, yes, and it gets tiring because you're using a lot of muscles. Lovely. Finish child's pose, stretch, and I really go for it with child's pose this time. Stretch your arms forward on your mat and really work on pushing your bum back to your heels. You're welcome. We come up onto all fours, lovely, lovely 4-point kneeling. Right arm lifts, left leg lifts. Bring it down, transfer from right to left, take your time. Brace your abdominals, think about your alignment. That's really interesting, everything wants to cramp in this position. Think about how that's feeling. This is a familiar movement for you guys in Pilates. Palm facing in, hand, heels, same height. Now, super mega slow it down. So right arm, left leg, lift, lift, hold, 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 hold. Slowly lower, slowly, still lowering, and then come into that transition. Lift, lift, other side. Slowly lower, still lowering, slowly lower. Okay, 4-point kneeling. Now you go into, now watch me for a second, okay? Flat feet, so the tops of the feet are on the mat. Now what I'm looking for is a push off and down. Whew. So I'm pushing off my feet to lift my knees. Now look at the opposite to it. So you might trigger a bit of crampage here, girls. So I gaze to knees and then I'm relaxing I'm pressing my knees down. Does that make sense? Can you see me? So flatten and then release it. This is quite triggering around the foot. So it's quite a big old fat stretch here on the feet. So really get those knees up. Right, okay. So instead of coming forward, I want you to come upwards. Okay, so instead of just coming forward, come upwards. Your arches are gonna feel it. It doesn't feel nice. Who hates that? Yeah, yeah. You're all going, yeah, I do. Okay, it's really important because we're stretching. So we're stretching around the arch of the foot. So the front of the foot is getting a big stretch. Again, not unusual to develop spurs here at the ankle bones, which affects our walking as we age. So we're getting a really nice stretch manipulation out here. Well done. You look lovely. You really do. Well done, and release. Good, 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 good. Okay, roller comes back into play. We're sitting on it, we're massaging. Oh. Okay, so what I'd like us to do is, if you can sit up like me, so basically my right foot is flat on the floor. And what I'm looking for is to be able just to massage around the outside of the hamstring into the bottom on the left. Work with it. You might want to really twist. You might find a couple of sweet spots here that you can't normally get to. So going back to what I said earlier on, The IT band is a fascia, so it's hip to knee connector here. So we're just trying to release off around that area. It might feel tender in a couple of spots. Okay, when you're ready, we switch. So left foot forward, right foot almost tucked, shifting bum cheeks. It's nice though, isn't it? Again, you might want to just shift your hand onto your yoga mat so it's enabling you to shift your weight. Again, did you say your dog's a year old? Did I hear that? God. Oh, still a puppy, look. Okay, well done. Okay, and then come back into a seated position. Okay, soles of the feet connect. Sit up nice and high. Now I find this is quite strong into my back, so I'm on the roller, the feet are together, so my feet are wedged, and then I'm allowing just a little bit of pressure. So I'm just pushing down a little bit to get my hips nice and open. I feel that in my back. I'm saying that a lot today, aren't I? Now I'm just going to lean in, but as I lean in, I'm not caving in through my shoulder. I'm using my hands onto the shins and pressing my chest forward. So a couple of things are happening. Breathe in. How does that feel? Pull. You need to really properly pull. Is that me? Making all sorts of funny noises. Microphones, that is. Okay. So what if we took your left knee to your right foot and just come forward a little bit? Because what you should get is a bit of an external rotation. I'm not going to be here long. Okay, push up, right foot in, left knee to right foot, and then left knee down. Feels nice, all right. Good. Push up. This time, left foot in, right foot in front of left foot. Crampage, cramp. Okay, and then when you're ready, I want you to come all the way forward so you're on the top side of your feet. Now let's see if we can just breathe through that for a minute, because the interesting thing is we're doing that holding again, nervous again. Just try and relax through the pelvic floor, because that's the bit that just kind of went because you got panicky. Well done. Relax your bum cheeks. Let's see if we can come out of that and switch sides. I don't know about you, but my ankles and my calves, soleus, aperoneus, like all my like lower legs, lower legs, is that the right phrase? They're all firing up this morning. They're going, I don't like it. So again, this is about reducing the range of movement around the knee joint. It's about relaxing off the pelvic floor when we hold these type of positions. And when you're ready, let's find a seated relaxed position. So do whatever you need to do, but I prefer you to stay and sit for a second. Relax your arms. Relax your shoulders. We're just going to go through a little breathing exercise for a moment. So breathing in on the 1, pausing on the 2, breathing out on the 3, pausing on the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put your chin towards your chest, eye gaze downwards. Sweep your chin up to your right shoulder and pause. Sweep your chin down to the center of your chest and pause. Chin up to your left shoulder. Down to the center of your chest. And then lengthen through your spine, lift your chest, lift your chin, relax your shoulders. So maintain that neutral alignment of your spine as you sit. Refreshed. I want you to feel all that good energy coming at you. Breathe it in like a lovely warm wave being splashed at you. Just like bring it in, enjoy it. A warm breeze being pushed at you. And in it is just joy and love, and actually let's just stay there with the love. Feel that sunshine coming into your skin. I want you to smile for me. Big fat sigh. Let's take our palms up, out to the sides. All the way we're breathing in the greatness, all the way to the top of the movement, and then bring your hands together and bring it all the way down to like you're cutching it into your body again. Okay, repeat that, arms out wide. You're scooping upwards. Bringing your hands into the center of your body and just bringing it downwards into your center. And then do this for me. Give yourselves a round of applause. Well done! How are they?